You're allowing illegal aliens to present warrants for arrest and waving them onto airplanes. How does that make sense? You just told me that you've let a thousand people travel on airlines who present to you warrants for arrest.
Yeah. Josh Hawley asks why Americans get searched at TSA while illegal immigrants can present arrest warrants as identification here. Then the administrator gave him a number here. Under 1,000, sir.
So let's just see if we can get some answers now. How many individuals have presented TSA with arrest warrants or deportation notices and were permitted to travel in this calendar year?
Under 1,000, sir.
How does this policy comport with 18 U.S.C. 1325, which criminalizes improper entry into the United States by an alien?
Sir, these individuals that have these arrest warrants, those arrest warrants were issued by the Border Patrol or a customs officer, and they serve as a beginning to our identity verification process. So you can't walk up to a checkpoint, wave that form, and then you go right through into screening. We go through a process to verify that you are the person that you claim to be, and that you are receiving the level of screening, which always includes enhanced screening when people don't have the proper identification.
So if somebody who presents an arrest warrant is subject to an in-person interview with the airport's federal security director?
They have an interview with the officers that are on scene at the checkpoint, but that's not all that's happening. What those officers are doing are they're talking to...
When you say the officers on scene at the checkpoint, what are we talking about?
The transportation security officers, the uniformed officers at the checkpoint.
Okay, but not the federal security director.
They will bring in the federal security director if needed.
Well, why would that person not be needed if you have someone who's an illegal immigrant?
Right. So we aren't looking at whether a person is legal or illegal in the country. Our function is to make sure that...
Why not?
Because our role is to make sure that people that might pose a risk to transportation that's significant enough to either require enhanced screening or to not allow them to fly.
Bro, how about someone who broke into our country? You shouldn't allow them to fly. If anything, they could fly to wherever they came from, if that makes any sense here. You shouldn't be allowing people that obviously are here in a very illegal manner free pass through this border, right? This air border, at least, guys. All right, come on.
That the proper...
So your position is someone who is known to have violated the laws of the United States does not thereby need enhanced screening? You're not concerned about this person as a security threat?
So there are people every day that violate the laws of the United States that fly. We look for things that are related to transportation security.
And you don't think someone who is by definition, somebody who presents a warrant for arrest, you don't think that necessitates enhanced screening?
They get enhanced. All of those individuals get enhanced screening.
You just told me that it doesn't necessarily involve any interview with the federal security director, and you also said that you may well let them get on airplanes. And in fact, you've allowed at least 1,000 people to get on airplanes this year, calendar year alone.
Right. But enhanced screening and getting on an airplane are two very different things.
Oh, this is a game.
So I just don't understand why you have. I mean, I think for every person watching this hearing who has experienced the TSA screening process, it can often be very onerous, it's very long, and in fact, under your tenureship, the times for screening have gone up at airports all across the country, including in my home state of Missouri. St. Louis is now the 6th longest screening process in the country, despite the size of our airport there. People who have done absolutely nothing wrong are law-abiding citizens in every respect, are subject to the most invasive screenings at these airports, yet you're allowing illegal aliens to present warrants for arrest and waving them onto airplanes. How does that make sense?
Not doing that, sir.
You just told me that you've let 1,000 people travel on airlines who present to you warrants for arrest.
Yes,
right?
Sir. And they present those warrants. That warrant is the beginning of an identity verification process, which follows.
Why isn't it the end?
Bro, the end should legitimately be you calling ICE. I'm confused here.
Why isn't that the end of the process and you say, sorry, you have a warrant for an arrest. We're not going to allow you to get on an airplane.
Because we want to identify who is presenting themselves at the screening checkpoint and ensure that those individuals get the right level of screening. For folks that do not have the acceptable forms of ID that we list on our webpage, they all receive enhanced screening. So every single person that presents a warrant receives enhanced screening before they're allowed to get on an aircraft. Now, if they don't pass that screening, they don't get on the aircraft.
Boy, guys, I think you're going to have a hard time explaining to folks who wait for all of this time in these lines, who subject themselves voluntarily to all of the restrictions that you impose, who are patted down, who are frisked, who are asked to stop aside, who have their luggage rifled through, who have items confiscated from them, who are randomly selected or sometimes perhaps not so randomly selected for enhanced screenings, but you're allowing illegal aliens with warrants for arrest to get onto airplanes, and you've allowed at least 1,000 of them in this calendar year. I mean, I just find that totally extraordinary.
So this is absolutely sickening. I'm also not specifically surprised here. Like, I would suspect that if you are part of the government, okay, understand this here, and someone is coming up to you and saying, hey, listen, I have a warrant for my deportation, or I have a warrant for my arrest here. I'm in this country in a very illegal or in an illicit manner here, all right? And you are part of the government, you would kind of by default would speak to the other government agencies to at least help make the United States of America safer here, instead of trying to help, I don't know, the airlines sell tickets, because that's kind of what it sounds like, if that makes any sense here. It sounds like the airlines are more important than the American population, right? The American people. Like, keeping specifically the American people safe here. Understand here, not every single person that's broken into our country is going to commit a secondary or tertiary offense. I have to point this out here because some people, I don't know, conflate my words at least, right? But kind of by default, if you are, it's like, guys, it's like a police officer. So, for example, it's like a police officer pulling you over. You have a warrant, and then him saying, "Yeah, it's okay, you can go." That's not going to happen here, guys. So, why is the TSA, with all of the literal nonsense that they put us through, specifically within the airport here, all right, like what Hawley said here, the random screenings, the rifling through your bags, bro, that X-ray machine that is a lot more invasive than you possibly would ever most likely imagine here, because all you really have to do is get that image and then flip it into like negative, if that makes any sense here, because the image is already negative, make it positive, and you start to see all types of body parts attached to some of those images there, guys. It's absolutely, it's wild, okay? Like, but they can basically see what you had for lunch, all right? They can see if you need to use the restroom. It's getting a little bit crazy. This is a lot that they put you through for the sole purpose of then allowing illegal immigrants to basically fly with no issues here, guys. Trying to understand it differently, but that's basically what I'm getting from this. And obviously, because we're in the time of people saying, I'm not trying to be partisan here, all right? So I'm not going to go ahead and partake in specifically helping remove people, because if you actually approach any of your jobs with any type of common sense these days here, that common sense would absolutely be destroyed by the modern left, and you'll most likely not be in your position any longer. I think that's basically what most of these people are basically trying to protect these days. It seriously makes me wonder whatever happened to this.
The president now saying he plans to deploy ICE agents on Monday to airports.
ICE will be coming here, but they will be here for line management, crowd control, not to do immigration enforcement when they get here. But take a look at this line. We're in the middle of the atrium between the north and south terminal. Believe it or not, this is looking somewhat lighter than what they had before. But the person at the front of the line, she told me she's been waiting for 6 hours, and now her flight is tomorrow morning. She's just trying to get through, get something to eat, and then not have to go through this tomorrow morning. So you think it's a joke, but really, if you have a flight tomorrow, start getting in line tonight here.
So be fully aware, if we have the head of the TSA basically saying that they have no problem taking arrest warrants or deportation orders specifically as some type of identification to fly here, it seems like the only smart thing to do here is to have ICE agents specifically in our air border places, airports. We have a lot of people within the United States of America that are basically hiding these individuals in the country, guys. And the only way to fix the nonsense is to basically consistently call it out here, guys. But listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime here, guys, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.